welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today we are having a chit chat again because I just love those. So today I'm doing 10 things I would tell my younger self. Please note, this is not advice to anybody. This is literally just me sharing my life lessons, okay? So let's get straight into it. The first thing I would tell my younger, so I've written some things down so that I don't forget, so I'll be looking down from time to time. The first thing I would tell my younger self is do not allow fear to stop you. Oh my gosh, you know, when I look back now, especially when it comes to my career, I almost want to kick myself. There are so many opportunities that I was presented with, like literally opportunities handed to me on a silver platter. And I said no because I was scared. I was scared of the unknown. I was scared of failing. And now I look back and I'm like, damn it, Asanda, you should have said yes and then learned how to do those things. I could have been so far in life by now if I just pushed through the fear and said yes. So that's the first thing I would say to my younger self. Don't let the fear stop you, honey. Say yes and then do it with your knees trembling. And then the second thing I would say to my younger self is it's going to be okay. You know, there's so many times where, well, my younger self, I went through stuff that at the time when something was happening, it would feel like life is literally coming to an end. It's never going to be okay, da 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 da. And I spent so much time stressing and, you know what I mean, and worrying. Now I look back and I realize that, you know what, life literally has a way of just working itself out, you know, like things tend to just work out in the end. If it hasn't worked out yet, it's not the end. So hang in there, baby boo-boo. It's going to work out in the end. And then the third thing that I would tell my younger self is that there's a downside to a debt-free life. Yeah. I know. Like I said, this is not intended to be any form of advice to anybody. So this thing that I'm about to say now, it's not financial advice. It's literally just my personal experience, and it might not even be the same for the next person. Maybe someone else's experience is different, but this was my experience. So my younger self, you know, was like, this girl who was like, you know what, I don't want any debt in life. Like, I'm okay. I want to buy everything cash. I want to buy my car cash. I want to buy my house cash. And I want to be this girl who's doing things cash. Okay. And then I started doing my internship. And then in the beginning, I was like, yeah, no, I'm doing this cash thing, ne? Like, I'm going to save up. I'm going to use the train, which was like the cheapest mode of transport at the time. Like, I think I was spending around 130 bucks per month on a train to go to work. Like 130 bucks for the whole month. I was like, you know what? I'm saving up because I want to buy my car cash. Like, debt can miss me. And then a couple of months in, I realized that the whole train situation was just not working out because trains are so unreliable. And then if the train doesn't come, you find yourself having to take taxis, and then you only get to work like just in time for lunch. So it came to a point where I just had to get a car, but I hadn't saved up enough money, which meant I then had to go and, you know, ask for financial assistance from the bank. But before I went to the bank, I kind of like did my research, you know, in terms of the prime interest rate and how much people my age were paying and what, you know, like I just wanted to have an idea of how much interest they're going to charge me. So I went in there with an idea of how much interest they're going to charge me. So when I got my documents and I saw the interest rate, I was like, hold up, what are you talking about? What is this? So I found this guy, you know, who was like doing this deal for me, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's up with that interest rate? And he was like, no, it's because, no, actually, I was like, you guys have no shame. I don't even have any debt, so that should count in my favor, because like that's literally what I thought. And he was like, no, sweetie, actually it's the other way around. Because you don't have any debt, we don't have a way of sort of checking how you are paying your debts, and so we don't trust you. So because we don't trust you, we have to recover as much money from you as quickly as possible. I was like, is that how it works? Really? And then he was like, yeah, what you can do is open a clothing account and then wait for 3 months and then come back again. I'm like, you don't understand. I don't have 3 months. So yeah, that was the downside of not having any debt for me. So if I were to go back a few years, that's something I would definitely do differently. Like, even if it means opening a clothing account, using it for 3 months and then closing it after I get my car, but that's definitely something I would do differently. And then the fourth thing is, don't compare yourself to other people. There's something about comparing yourself to other people that just makes you lose your sense of achievement. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel like you haven't done enough. It makes you feel like, there's always going to be somebody who's prettier than you. There's always going to be somebody who's more educated than you, who has more money than you, who's more this and that than you. So comparing yourself to others, it's just toxic. Like, it's not good for you. The only person you should be comparing yourself with is the person that you were yesterday, and the only purpose of that is for you to improve on yourself. Number 5 is, you are enough. Oh, baby girl, you are more than enough. Don't ever let people that have issues with themselves make you feel inadequate. You are more than enough. Guys, this takes me back to a time when I was in a toxic relationship with a guy who clearly needed to find himself. So at this point in my life, I was abstaining. I was a huge silver ring thinger. Those of you who were or are silver ring thingers will tell you exactly about the conviction that you have when you have that silver ring thing. I mean, that's not a decision that you just make overnight in jail, because I remember there was a pledge that we had to sign and all of that. And I remember when I asked my dad to buy me this ring, he was like, are you sure about this? Are you sure? Like, don't make me waste my money on something that you're not even sure of. Are you 100% sure that you are doing this? And I was 100% convinced, but listen, I'm doing this. So now here comes a guy, and he thinks he's just gonna make me do things that are not part of my plans, because he thinks he's entitled. Like, hold on. So this guy made me feel so inadequate. Like, he would remind me at every chance he got, he would remind me that there's something lacking in this relationship. He's not satisfied. Like, it was just about him and what he's not getting and what's not happening and what. Like, it was just exhausting, to a point where at some stage I discovered that he was cheating on me, and I somehow felt that I deserved it because I wasn't giving him what he wanted, and so he was probably getting it wherever. I look back at that now and I'm like, how messed up is that? Like, Booty, come try that with me. Come try me now. Jonga, try me. Try me. Like, just because your values and my values are not the same doesn't mean that your values are correct and mine aren't. And it certainly doesn't mean that I'm inadequate. It just means that we're not compatible. Darling, asabliff. Anywho, the next one, which is number 6, kind of ties in with number 5. Number 6 is, it's okay to say no. Guys, I spent like a huge part of my life, doing things that I didn't feel like doing, being in circles that I did not want to be a part of, lending people money that I did not want to lend them, all because I was too afraid to say no. But now I'm at a point where I'm actually comfortable to say no, and it's nice to say no to things that you don't want to do. It's so nice. Like, I can't even explain it. Anyway, no in itself is a sentence, sweetheart. You don't owe anybody any explanation. You can just say, no, I don't feel like it, and you move right along. No, sorry, I won't be able to. Move right along. No explanations, no nothing. Just a plain old no, and you keep it moving. It's good for your soul. Like, when you agree to things that you don't want to do because you're afraid to say no, you just feel like you are strangling your soul. So, baby girl, learn to say no. Number 7 is happiness is an inside job. Oh my God. The younger version of me totally believed that, people around me were responsible for my happiness, and, my happiness was tied to achievements and all of that. But now I realize that actually happiness is something that must come from within. You know what I mean? You can achieve all the material things in the world, but if you haven't sorted out the inside, you will never be happy. And also, like, no one owes you anything, boo-boo. No one owes you anything, baby girl. Your happiness is your own responsibility, and it starts in here. Number 8 is your body looks just fine. Guys, I have spent like the biggest part of my life worrying about my weight, thinking like I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too fat, this part is too big, and all of that. Like, I remember at some point in my life, I really, really, really wanted to own like a short black dress. I used to call it an LBD. Like, one day when I lose weight, I'm gonna buy myself an LBD, blah, 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 which of course never happened. But now, when I look at my old pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I definitely could have worn an LBD there. But at the time, I thought I was so fat and so this and so that. But now I look at my pictures and I'm, actually, you looked quite fine over there, baby girl. Anywho, number 9 is it's okay to be different. There's nothing as toxic as finding yourself being something that you're not just so you can fit in. Like, it doesn't work. So be who you are, stand on what you believe in, even if you're standing alone, but just don't change yourself just so you can fit in. It's okay to be different. And then the final one is wherever you are, be fully there. Oh my God. Like, for the most part of my 20s, in my 20s, I spent every day literally daydreaming. Like, I was always dreaming about the next phase of my life, the next achievement that I need, the next this, the next that. Like, I was never, ever fully in the moment and just living in the moment. You know what I mean? Now I look back and I'm like, OMG, there was an entire garden of roses over there, and I did not stop for a second to smell a single rose because I was too busy daydreaming about what's to come. You know what I mean? And some of the stuff I was daydreaming about doesn't even mean anything to me at this point anymore. So if I were to go back, I would definitely live in the moment and just enjoy the here and the now instead of living in future. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope something out of the 10 things resonated with you guys, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.